Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the Aerosoft A330, and oh man, the controversy surrounding this aircraft right now. Aerosoft, what are you doing? Today, we're going to take it up for another test flight, and we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've had a chance to spend some time in this aircraft now, and I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've noticed that I like and dislike. So let's get in there. And before we hop inside, let's talk about the exterior model really quickly. I've actually already posted a video going into detail about my thoughts on the exterior model, but I'll give you a bit of a snippet here right now and a bit of a summary. So basically, as a whole, the 3D model is actually pretty good. It looks like an A330. It looks very nice from afar, but once you get up close, you start to find a lot of the issues and inconsistencies and just a lack of quality, mainly in the tires. The tires look really bad. The actual landing gear struts are very low resolution. The livery itself even has a lot of imperfections, making it look like it was done by an amateur. Like, this is not the quality you would expect from an elite company like Aerosoft. But what does look good is the actual engine, the engine cowling, the fan blades. That whole section looks amazing. What honestly my favorite part of the 3D model in this whole aircraft is the actual engine and engine texturing. The wings are looking really good as well. It has that really nice Airbus swoop. So my favorite view, honestly, in this whole aircraft is the wing view. All the doors open, passenger doors, exterior cargo doors. Matter of fact, the cargo bay is probably one of the nicest looking pieces of this aircraft. And the worst part is the cabin. I mentioned this in my last video, and I'm gonna say it again. Aerosoft, either do a full legit cabin or don't do a cabin at all, because this right here is unacceptable. But anyways, let's move on. Welcome to the flight deck of the Airbus A330. Now, I don't have a lot of complaints about the actual flight deck. I don't think it's too bad. I still personally feel like there's some more to be desired. I feel like it lacks a bit of character, but it is also an Airbus cockpit, and they're all very similar. There's not a lot to them as far as like visual fidelity or texturing. It's the real thing is kind of flat and just kind of, cookie cutter, I guess you could say. But I have seen, in my opinion, I think I've seen better Airbus cockpits. And so, I mean, it's not distracting. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's horrible. We do have some working tray tables here, which is nice. We have the actual window does open like that. Very nice sound. Yeah. Hey, I got it. This aircraft is not all bad, right? There, you got to give credit where credit's due. And that sounded amazing. That sounded amazing. They've done a pretty decent job on the sounds all around. There's a few, places where it could be better as well. And again, we'll talk about that. We're talking about what I like, what I don't like about the aircraft. We're to give credit where credit's due, but we're also going to hold them accountable where they should have done better. Again, Aerosoft has been around so many years. There's no excuse for low quality, bad products. So anyways, that's the flight deck. We'll see a lot more of that as we're flying along. Today we're flying to LAX. So we're in Salt Lake City right now. Here is the EFB. We'll start off by just kind of going through our setup. We'll do fetch from SimBrief. We'll grab our flight plan, Salt Lake City to LA. If I click on the triple dots, that'll give us our SimBrief OFP. We can get all of our information right here. So go ahead and close that out. We'll also go ahead and go to our fueling. So we can customize our fueling here as we need. Since we've imported our flight plan from SimBrief, now it's going to know. All right, if I click on this little cloud download, this should download the information from SimBrief. I'm actually going to take a look and make sure that's matching. And we're expecting 13,153 kilograms. So that's correct. So we'll go ahead and hit the play button there. And that's going to load our aircraft. Now, if I had this set to realistic, this would slowly, progressively upgrade, right, until it's done. As you can see right there, it says we're going to do 2 minutes or 1 minute until we're finished with boarding. So we can do the same thing with the payload, which is showing 150,000 kilograms as well. So we can hit play on that, and that'll start loading up the passengers and cargo. We also have our CG chart over here on the right and our performance chart, which we'll look at later. Let's close that for now. And another thing I'll give Aerosoft credit for is day one GSX integration. If you still don't have GSX yet on Microsoft Flight Sim, what are you waiting for? I use this for every single flight I ever do with an airliner. So we go to request boarding.
Boarding requested.
Thank you. And we'll obviously use Delta Airlines since we're in Salt Lake City, one of Delta's hubs. And you can see now we have all of the ground crew down there approaching the aircraft, as well as a jet bridge connecting to that front door. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna open up the passenger door. Now, if you don't have GSX, you can still operate the jetway through the tablet. You could also connect the GPU, your catering trucks, all of that. But what that does, that'll use the default Microsoft Flight Sim cargo loaders and things like that. Hey, attach pushback tug, yes, please. We will not do crew, so we'll do nobody. There we go. I know, the parking spot I'm in is too small, but I'm glad that they have GSX integration on day one. I'm hoping that moving forward, that'll kind of be standard for most aircraft when they come out, especially if it's on PC. Okay, so by default, for whatever reason, the aircraft spawns in a turnaround state, and leading to another one of the things that I dislike at the current state of this aircraft is that when I try to select any other state, it basically freezes up my entire Microsoft, and I have to force quit it. So I'm not going to actually do that. One of the many issues I've had with this aircraft so far. But as you can see, it's doing a self-test because I got the battery turned off and I turned it back on. So that's going to take a few seconds. And now that is powering on. We're going to go to the top here and we'll get our APU started up. And we'll take a listen to how that APU sounds. So APU master switch, we'll go ahead and hit APU start. Honestly, I think that APU sounds really good. Alright, let's go to get our APU bleed on. Alright, good to go. And we'll get the fuel pumps on. There we go. Cruise supply, ground control, and the cab fans. While we're up at the top, you may notice there's a lot of things that you can't click on. Many of the buttons are unclickable. You can click the ADIRs, which is fine. Which is not surprising because they've advertised this aircraft as like day-to-day operations level, right? So nothing extra, no failures, none of that. Anyways, let's jump into our FMC, get the aircraft programmed and ready to go. So go to FM1. And one thing I do like as well is that you do have direct SimBrief integration. So we can go to the init page here and we should be able to click on init request. And that's going to uplink. There it is. Salt Lake City to LAX. Beautiful. We're expecting 268 passengers. Cost index is 10. And we'll be cruising at 38,000 feet. I will say what I'm noticing though is that it does feel a little slow to respond to my button clicks. Alright, we'll come back to this. Let's first go ahead and put our flight plan in. So you can see our whole flight plan has been imported as it should when you integrate with SimBrief. We'll click on Salt Lake City up top. Go to departure. Departure will be runway 16 right today out of Salt Lake City. And it's going to be the Xeons 1 departure. EHK transition. And we'll insert that. There we go. Alright, we'll scroll through here. It looks pretty good so far. We'll click on LAX, our arrival airport, and click on arrival. And go over to ILS 24 left. Sorry, 24 right. There it is. We're choosing ILS 24 right. And it's going to be the Angel 4 arrival via Hackman. And for our go via, it'll be Circus. And we'll hit insert there. We'll clear out the not allowed, and we'll check for any discos or discontinuities. Now, we're going to watch very closely during the arrival phase of our flight to see if it actually goes by the altitude restrictions. In my previous flights, it did not, so we'll test that again to see how consistent that is. But that's one of my dislikes of this aircraft, is that it didn't follow the VNAV very well. The whole autopilot is a bit wonky. But again, we'll see if that is still true today. By the way, also, the aircraft currently does not support holds or RNAV arrivals, and there's no way to input a secondary flight plan That's not implemented yet. And I'm not sure what's going on here. So it's completed fueling, but for whatever reason, it has paused at 1 second on payload boarding. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. And I'm just gonna hit instant, and we'll hit play again, and that's now complete. All right, so that's another bug I just found. First time that's happened to me. Okay, so over to the performance page, I can click on the little download button here with the cloud, and that'll actually import all of my aircraft's current data into the performance chart. So we're in Salt Lake City. There's our runway, our QNH, the winds, temps, runway conditions, and the raw METAR. All we need to do is put in our gross weight, which we can click on this little arrow right here. That'll automatically put that in there for us, which is nice. And for flaps, we'll just leave it at optimum and see what it gives us. Anti-ice will be off, and we will do a flex takeoff. We'll hit calculate, and there it is. Now we have our performance numbers for takeoff. Alright, so we'll put in our gross weight, 163.6, we'll round up. So 163.6 slash our 0 fuel weight CG, which is going to be on our CG chart, which is 27.9. So we'll put in 27.9er. There we go. And then for our fuel, we're carrying 13,000 kilos, so 13.2. So 13.2. It's going to go here under our block fuel. And now that page is filled out. We'll go over to our performance page. And that's where we're going to use the data that we just generated on the performance page. And that's going to be V1 323236. So we'll go 132, 132, and 136. And then we're going to put 1/up 3.9. That's our flap and trim setting. And then lastly, our flex is 47. And then we'll go to the next phase and put in our clean altitude speed. So 212. It's going to go right there under pre-selected speed. When we go into climb mode. And I believe now we are done. At least that's all we need to do. Init page is good. The wind is not implemented yet, so you can't do that yet either. But we'll leave this on our performance page, and I'll put my MCDU on the right side on our flight plan page. And now back to our EFB. You can see I've already loaded in some charts. So we got our ground chart right here, which I don't know how to have this show me where I am. I think it just shows you the chart. I don't think it shows you where you are on the map. But that's our the chart, at least, thanks to Navigraph. We'll go to our departure, and we'll grab the Zoins 1 RNAV departure. And we'll see how the aircraft flies. It should be pretty straightforward departure, straight out to the south. Alright, before we go, one last thing we need to do, and that is calibrate our throttle before we head out. Thankfully, you can do that here in the tablet. You can also change your chart's theme for day and for night. You can turn on and off the virtual keyboard, SimReef ID. In your aircraft settings, you can have your altimeter be synced or not be synced. I'm going to leave it as synced. You got realistic or unrealistic alignment time for your IRSs. You can have use separate tiller axis, which I actually do want on. And you can do a few other things in here. We're going to go to hardware calibration. You can see I've already messed with this a little bit. So we can try to do a custom thrust lever. See, lever axis count is 2. And reverse axis is on. And it's pretty easy, honestly, to set this up. All I gotta do is move my throttle. You can see my input right there. So if I go to, say, for example, I'm at idle right now. I'm gonna hit store. Or sorry, I'm gonna hit set current on my left and my right throttle. I'll put my throttle. I have the Airbus TCA throttle. I'll put that into the climb detent. Click on climb. You can see it's kind of already in the ballpark with set and set. I think I've done this already. And then I'll go to flex detent. Click on flex, set current, left and right. And then we'll go full forward for toga. And see, the toga was way off. Alright, now that's set. And then we'll handle the reverse. So I'll put it back into reverse here, just reverse idle, which is right around there. I'll hit set current, and then I'll put it into max reverse. To the end of my axis, we'll go to reverse max, and hit set current and set current, and then all we should have to do is hit store. So you can see it was definitely off a little bit, so we'll leave that as is, and I believe once you hit store it's supposed to be stored. So we can click on this little scroll bar and scroll down. You can also do custom flap calibration, which I will do. Last time I tried this, it wasn't working, so I gotta do it again. So we'll do that right now. We'll go to our, let's see, full up position, which is 0. And then I'll hit set 0. There we go. Flaps 1, set 1, flaps 2, set 2, and then flaps 3, set 3. And we'll hit full. And there we go. So now I'll hit store one more time, and that should work. Now the speed brake I have not had any issue with, so we're not going to mess with that right now. But if we look over to our throttle, you can see right now we're in reverse because it is actually in reverse. We'll go into idle. So this right here should be idle, climb, flex, and so that's working so far. We'll see once we get the engines on how well that goes. And same thing with our flaps. Right now my flaps should be full, and that is reversed. So that's not working at all. Even though I calibrated it, yeah, it's not doing anything. So that is an issue. Another problem. I don't know why that's reversed. I don't know why it's not detecting the notches that I set in the store. But I'm gonna have to manually use my mouse to change my flaps. So, yeah. All right, seatbelt signs on, beacon light on. We are ready to go. All right, so push and start is approved. Tail east. Now I want to show you guys something really cool. We're not going to use it right now. We're going to use GSX for pushback because that's what I prefer and that's what I can trust. If I go to the pushback page, you can see here it actually shows you the aircraft at the gate, and you could actually click on here and you can adjust where you want the pushback to be. So I can click right behind the aircraft. It's kind of weird. You see the little blue line up here, and that'll allow you to choose where the aircraft pushes back, and it does work. I've done it before. It basically pushes back. There will be no pushback tug connected. It's just your aircraft basically just reversing until it gets to the point you selected. So that's a nice way. I think it's a pretty cool tool. And if you don't have GSX or some other pushback program, this is very useful to use. But we're not going to use it today. Wow, very nice push. All right, brake set, clear, disconnect, show us the pin, and we'll get the engine started right now. So go and put our ignition into start, and we'll start with engine number 2.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, my man's is walking off. He got the bypass pin, and we have a good start on engine 2. You know, like I said earlier, I got to give credit where credit's due, and the engine start sounds are not bad from the outside view. I could dig it. I could dig it. So go start up engine number 1, and we'll listen from the inside. Alright, wasn't too much to hear there, but you know, can't expect all too much from the inside of view, so I'm not sure how realistic or unrealistic that is. I don't have anything to fact check that, so you guys can let me know in the comments. But anyways, we got two good engines. We'll go get the APU turned off, and we'll start taxiing and get out of here and make our way to LA. We have a 2-hour flight from Salt Lake City to LA. We'll arm our spoilers, and we'll set our flaps to 1. And of course, a quick flight control check. So aileron to the left, center, aileron to the right, center, pitch down, and pitch up. Check the rudder, full left and full right. And it seems like we are free and correct. Chronos on. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are ready to taxi. Alright, release a brake, add some power. You start rolling on her own, which is fine.
Runway 34 right, ready for takeoff.
Looks like we're racing a 737 and an ERJ over there. But you get a little bit of a taste of that wing flex there on that right wing. It's only the tip just a little bit. We'll monitor that as we go through the flight. Just that little bit of wing flex as we're taxiing through some of the bumps. Well, let's see if we can beat this 737 up to runway 16 right in Salt Lake City. Alright, we're approaching Alpha 11. We'll contact tower for departure here. Salt Lake City Tower, Delta 116 Heavy, ready for departure, 16 right. And hose rate. I think it handles really well on the ground, personally, with the nozzle steering.
Salt Lake Tower, runway 16 right, winds 105 at 6. RNAV hop 2, cleared for takeoff.
16 right, clear for takeoff, RNAV hop 2, Delta 116 Heavy. Alright, so we got the strobe lights on, lane lights on. Right side's clear, and left side is clear. But yeah, she handles pretty well, like on the ground taxi.
Delta 704 Salt Lake Tower. Say again your last transmission, you were unreadable.
As I said, I gotta give credit where credit is due. It's not all bad. It's not all bad, but let's see how she flies. We'll hand fly it a bit. We're clear to 9,000. Here we go. We'll tap on the brakes there, and let's go. Flex. Airspeed is alive. Knots. V1, rotate.
Salt Lake Tower, Delta 734. With you, 11,000.
Positive rate, gear up.
Delta 704, roger, altitude check, continue left final for runway 34 left, report when established on final. Right crosswind departure, request VFR by 24 Provo. Push 2, contact Salt Lake City departure.
Alright, passing 5,000, throttle back to lever climb.
Delta 116, contact departure on 120.9er.
Over to departure, Delta 116 Heavy.
Straight in for runway 35.
Alright, throttle climb is boxed in. Switching to departure, 120.9er. Departure, Delta 116 Heavy is climbing via SID. Beautiful day out here in Salt Lake City today.
Delta 116, Salt Lake Approach, radar contact. Clear direct Zion, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Clear, direct Zion, and up to flight level 140, Delta 116. Alright, so basically it's a straight out approach, but we can rock our wings a little bit, see how she feels. And I have to be honest with you guys. I said I'm going to call it as I see it today. And, like, handling wise, I mean, I'm not a real world Airbus or A330 pilot, so take it as you want it. But as a simmer, as a flight simmer, this feels pretty good. Like, the takeoff and all that felt good. It didn't feel pitchy. Yeah, it doesn't feel pitchy. I feel like I'm fully, you know, in control. You know, minus the fly-by-wire aspect. But it's not ridiculously sensitive. Look at that. Parallel takeoff. That's cool. We'll have to watch out for him. Is he showing up on a TCAS? Yep. That's working. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fly myself for a bit, even though we're flying straight. We're cleared up to 14,000 feet though. So 14,000 sets. And we'll go ahead and unclick that. And we'll go ahead and unclick that. We thought our climb. Flaps coming up. And Autopilot 1 coming on. Alright, so she's now banking to the left a little bit to catch the green line. We still have that traffic off our nose. Bit of a weird offset by ATC there. Passing 10,000 feet and 250 is selected. So far so good, guys. So far so good.
Climb and maintain flight level 280.
Up to 280, Delta 116.
Heading southwest 205, 4 miles from Beehive. Turn right heading 105. Descend and maintain 7,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 16 right approach.
Okay, so I'm already running into another issue here. This is what I meant earlier about the autopilot is pretty wonky in this aircraft.
Roger. Maintain flight level 370.
Maintain 370, Delta 116. So, where are you going? What? Is that my fault? Did I put that in there twice or something? I might have. Let's go direct to Lodu. Yeah, so hit direct. And we'll go down here to Lottie. Lottie Dottie. Here we go. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, now he's gonna turn and go direct to that. I will mention as well, while we're talking about the autopilot and FMS, holds not supported right now in the A330. Well, I don't know why they didn't incorporate that, but holds are not incorporated. But yeah, we were basically straddling this green line of it. We were turning right, we're banking left, like it couldn't quite capture it. It reminds me of back when Microsoft Flight Sim first came out, and like it just really struggled to follow the flight plan. Like it was like oscillating up and down. It was kind of doing S turns around the actual flight track and flight path, and that's kind of what the state of the autopilot reminded me of right now. We'll see if it captures it a little better now that we've possibly fixed the issue, because it was actually trying to turn around and go to a waypoint behind me. But I think it's going to capture it this time. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, we're good now. We'll continue our climb up to 38,000 feet. We'll monitor it and see how the autopilot does. But land lights are off. We're in standard, and we're on our way to LA.
Delta 704, continue on present heading contact Salt Lake Center on 127.825 when ready.
Why are you turning left to go right? See, this is what I'm talking about with the autopilot. We had a very simple right-hand turn over Laker, and the aircraft decided to go left, and now it's banking right. So again, it's just, there's some inconsistencies here with the autopilot for sure. While I'm thinking about it, the terrain radar also doesn't currently work.
Roger. Boulder altimeter 2968.
Up now. Yeah, now we're back in cruise mode again somehow. Okay. Yeah, you can see how it's chasing. It is chasing the green line here. And I think one of the reasons why the aircraft is having trouble following the LNAV is because all of these like waypoints are just direct lines instead of it having like a smooth curve. I don't have any like exaggerated curves on my flight plan to really show a good example of that, but yeah, it's just like kind of like straight angles going to each waypoint instead of having an actual smooth curve from waypoint to waypoint if there is a turn in the middle. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's having trouble following. But look at it right now. Look at it. What are you doing? Where are we going? Yeah, like look at what is going on here. So we're supposed to be going to ZZYX, I think. Zoom out. Yeah, we just passed over Laker. Our next waypoint is ZZYZ, and for some reason it wants to go to E-ATX.
Charlie, Los Angeles Center. Good afternoon.
Not even on my flight. What? Let's go direct again to the ZZYZ. Insert. Yeah. We'll know what's going on here.
Jet 53 Charlie, contact Albuquerque Center on 135.325.
Also, you see how much like the wing is kind of bouncing here? Now that's not necessarily from turbulence. That's actually from the autopilot trying to turn us back to the right towards that waypoint. But even then, we should be getting some sort of kind of flexy wing action happening here, and it's just completely stiff. I showed you earlier on Taxia how there is definitely some wing flex, wing flex incorporated into the wing. But I just don't know what the logic is behind it, because I don't know if it's actually simulating the wind going over the wing, or if it's like a 3D animation that happens when certain things happen. Like, I'm not a developer myself, I'm not a coder, but like, as much as we're bouncing right now, which shouldn't be happening anyways, probably still turning.
United 3043 Los Angeles Center.
Oh my god. Aerosoft, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. So much respect for Aerosoft. I really do. I don't wish bad things upon them. I never do to anybody. I've had respect for them. I've been looking forward to this plane, but this is not ready. This is not ready. A simple flight. I don't know if you're new to the channel, but I don't like being that negative, biased YouTuber, and I don't feel like I'm being that, but I have to be honest to what I said in the title. Like, this video is all about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I've been trying to show you all the things that I do like, right, and give credit where credit is due, but also show you the things that I don't like. And what I do like is this shot right here. There's so much beauty in the ashes, right? But at the same time, yeah, I don't like making videos like this. I really don't. Usually, the reason why a lot of my videos and reviews and things like that may seem more upbeat and more positive is because I kind of handpick the things that I decide to review. If I'm not interested in a certain topic or aircraft or a game, I just won't cover it. I'll give you my opinion if you ask about it. I might make a post about it on social media saying, hey, not a fan of this, can't recommend this, whatever, but you know, I usually won't spend my time and effort on something that I just don't like or don't enjoy. Now, with this particular aircraft, like I said, I've been looking forward to this plane for years. I mean, it's been more than 2 years since they've announced this A330, and me and many people in the community have been really looking forward to it. And I mean, we're only halfway through the flight. We haven't started descending yet. We're cruising over Utah right now, and I can already tell you that I can't recommend this. I'll give you kind of more of an overview of all of my likes and dislikes and whatnot at the very end of the video as a short kind of piece, but just to kind of say what's in my mind at the moment right now as we're flying is, yeah, it's disappointing. Very disappointing. Another thing I just want to mention as well is the sounds. I really praised the sounds earlier, and I still stand by that, but it's not all good. As you hear right now, I have the sound turned up pretty high. You can hear the wind blowing, but other than that, it is silent. You can kind of hear a little bit of an engine on, but it seems like once you kind of get in the air and you're cruising, like the engine sounds have been kind of just turned down, and you can't really hear them at all. So, yeah, they got some things right with the sounds, but it's not all 100% either. So I just want to put that in there. I want to say that, and I will catch up with you guys as we attempt our descent into LA.
Delta 116, descend via the Angel 4 arrival.
Descend via the Angel 4 arrival, Delta 116. Alright, so we got our approval to descend via the Angel 4 into LA, and we're going to test out the VNAV going down. If I zoom out here, we'll actually remove this tray table real quick. But if I zoom out, you'll see in pink we have a lot of altitude restrictions going into LA, as always. And so I want to see if it'll actually abide by those. We'll go ahead and hit the altitude switch here. You'll see it goes in the DES, or descent mode. And once we reach that arrow pointing down, it should continue via the flight track, or the VNAV track, going down into LA, and hopefully we don't smash it. I'm also going to turn the terrain radar on. Again, don't believe it works, but we'll just see if it just happens to do anything. But we'll be watching to see if it actually meets these altitude restriction windows on the way down, but I don't think it will, because in my last time testing it did not. But we'll go down here and enter in our destination data. So right now we're under managed descent. We'll go to next phase, and we should be able to grab our weather and put that in here. And there's no way, I don't believe, to get the weather from inside the aircraft, so we'll have to go and get that ourselves from an external source. Weather in LA is so weather in LA right now is 29902. The temperature is 19. And the winds right now are 190 at 3. It's actually marginal VFR, so we'll see what that looks like. Alright, as I sadly suspected, we've been descending via the Angel 4. You can see our restrictions right there on the screen. We're supposed to be, it shows at or above 4,000 or 5,000, but we're at 12,000 feet. That's way too high. We're above the slope, and we're at idle. We're super high above the glide slope as well. I got speed brakes out, but when I do that, it wants to speed up because it thinks we're already going too slow. So we're supposed to be at 2,000 feet at Kobe, RIP Kobe, and we're not gonna make that. There's no freaking way. Are we? I mean, it's trying to descend.
Los Angeles Center, contact SoCal Approach on 124.3.
Over to SoCal Approach 124.3, Delta 116. SoCal Approach Delta 116, descending via Angel 4, requesting a right 360 for altitude. Yeah, look at that. Look at off our nose. This is just with the VNAV. The runway is right. Nope. Yeah. Come on, man. All right, so we're gonna do a right three. We're gonna basically turn ourselves around, vector ourselves back in for altitude, and we'll come back in and try to shoot the ILS. Intercept the MERS IAF. Clear for the ILS 24 right approach. Delta 116. All right, so we've been cleared for the ILS. I'm gonna hit the approach button here, as we have vectored our way back to runway 24 right here at LA. This is where the terrain radar will be really helpful because I'm flying around the LA area. You can see there's mountains and terrain around in the area here on this map, but can't see anything. It's completely IFR going into LA this morning. And yeah, definitely need that terrain radar. That's a pretty I shouldn't say basic, but a pretty, you know, simple built-in function to Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm not sure why we don't have that. Anyways, 14 miles out. And you can see here, glide slope and localizer have both been captured and jumped into the box. Let's see what she does from here. We'll take it nice and slow down 200. Did we get our speeds here for landing? Let's see. Flight plan. Next phase. And 133 for approach. Alright, we can work with that. Get slowed down nicely here. Landing lights are already on, and it looks like it is actually capturing the ILS. Yep, we're on the ILS. That's perfect. That's good.
Korea track 501, SoCal departure. Good afternoon.
There's the airport right ahead of us, about 10 miles. Auto brake has already been set, and speed is slowly coming down. She is a little slippery on the speed. It takes a bit of time to get it slowed down. Oh, look at parallels into LA. Let's go. See, there's always a bright side, chat. There's always a bright side.
Delta 116, contact Los Angeles Tower on 120.9 or 5.
Over the tower, Delta 116.
2,500.
All right, let's contact tower. LA Tower, Delta 116 on the ILS 24 right. All right, we're 9 miles out. Keep that speed coming back, please.
Delta 116, Los Angeles Center. Good morning, Compton. Altimeter 29.901.
All right, that's good. Speed's coming back. We'll put another notch of flaps in there. She's slowly coming back. Hopefully that speed will come back before we get too close. I got speed brakes in as well.
Heading 060 vectors for the visual runway 24 right approach.
Still can't see the runway just yet. Oh, look at that. That's nice. All right, we're 6 miles out. We're getting nervous. Let's drop those gear.
Good morning, 510, flight level 136, climbing 60.
Oh, really weird with that gear animation as well. Alright, flaps full. Alright, we're good on speed. Sea brakes are armed. We are 4 mile final. Still have not been cleared, but we're going to go for it. Alright, so, good news. Localizer, glide slope did indeed work. Alright, let's go. My controls.
Delta 116, Los Angeles Center. Contact Los Angeles Tower on 120.9 or 5.
That's a late one. Over the tower, Delta 116, I think. Alright, auto throttle off. Alright, so you have to click it twice for whatever reason, or else it won't actually deactivate. That got me in trouble last time. My controls, we're landing. Let's get it.
400.
Man, I chose a day to land in LA, didn't I? Alright, 2 white, 2 red. We are on the slope still. Let's watch our speed. Getting a little bit of stutters from LAX loading in. Don't worry about that. Coming in on 24 right. Again, she handles pretty nicely. No complaints there personally.
Minimum 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
SMC 0331, give me 1 second for that clearance.
Oh, what? Whoa! What?
100. 20, retard, 10, 5,
What is going on? Y'all see that? Reverse is out. Oh my god. Why are we taking off? Why are we taking off? What? What is going on? What is going on? What? Oh, what in the A380?
Harbor Airport, direct Paradise,
Bruh.
Squawk 6334 and ident.
I don't even know how to explain what just happened. Yo.
Contact SoCal Approach on 124.3.
Chill. Alright. Throttle. Are we saving this? Are we saving this or what? I guess we have to. You're up? I guess we're going around apparently. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Alright, we're on the go around. Jesus. Bro, we came in to flare. Did y'all see that? Rewind that back.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard,
SMC 0331, give me 1 second for that clearance.
Oh, what? Whoa! What?
100, 20, retard, 10, 5,
What is going on? Y'all see that? Reverse is out. Oh my god. Why are we taking off? Why are we taking off? What? What is going on? What is going on? We flared. I had the throttle on idle, on cut. I cut the throttle. We were about to touch down, have a nice landing.
You have not been cleared into the Bravo airspace. Exit the
And then all of a sudden we're doing 350 knots and bouncing in the air. That was crazy. We got like some kind of mega suspension going on here. Anyways, I guess I have to land again. So we'll try it again. I'll fly around and try it again. Alright, so I was going to attempt to land again, but about halfway through the go-around procedure, I thought to myself, I really don't want to waste any more time on this video. So right now we're watching the replay of that last crazy attempt to land in LA, and I just want to kind of give you guys some of my final thoughts here on A330. And I think it's pretty obviously clear that I cannot recommend you guys buy this plane. I can't. I can't. I don't say that very often, but today I have to say it. I cannot recommend you guys buy the Aerosoft A330, especially in its current state. I wouldn't buy it myself. You know, thankfully Aerosoft did send this to me as a review copy to review and try out and make this video, but sadly it's not ready. I don't know what they've been doing for the past 3, 4, 2, however many years it's been since they started this project, because this aircraft's been delayed. It's supposed to release like 2 years ago, and they delayed it, saying that they wanted to provide a better quality product. And I don't know what they've been doing the last however so long. Like, where did that extra time go? Because I don't see it, right? You know, I've spoken about the things I like, the things I don't like throughout this video. I don't need to really hammer at that anymore. But it's just like, I don't understand. Where has that time gone? You know, we've heard rumors that they've gotten some more government funding from the German government and stuff like that. And I've seen them make a ton of new games on the game side. But did any of that go towards the A330? Doesn't seem like it. Because if I had no previous relationship with Aerosoft, if I did not know who Aerosoft was, I would have thought this was their first ever aircraft they've ever made. And they've made this plane back in P3D. They've been around. Aerosoft is not new on the block. So we can't let Aerosoft let things like this go by. Like, this doesn't pass. This is unacceptable from Aerosoft. I don't know how the higher-ups allowed this to even get in our hands to showcase in this state. Now, as you saw, we did some things right throughout the flights. A lot of things do work. And in my opinion, I think this aircraft is like 95% there, maybe. 95% there. It's just a few more details, right? It has potential. It could be a decent, solid plane. I still fly Aerosoft's CRJ. I still fly Aerosoft's Twin Otter. Those are both great, solid planes. Love them. Enjoy them. But this right here, it doesn't even seem like it was made by the same people. So I don't know what's going on. Like, my rating for this aircraft would fall behind the Captain Sim. I would recommend any Captain Sim plane before I recommend this. I would recommend the Captain Sim C-130 before I could recommend this plane to you. Latin VFR also falls ahead of this. So I'll leave it at this. I can't recommend this aircraft for many reasons, and I recommend you just wait, guys. If you really want an A330, if you love the A330, you want this airframe, just wait. Either hop on X-Plane. X-Plane has a decent A330 by default and by TOLUS coming out, or wait for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. There's going to be a free default A330, the whole family, even the freighter version. So I recommend that for you guys who are interested in the A330. It is a beautiful plane. I do want to fly it. There was some moments in this flight where I was like, man, this is actually really nice. Like, it's a beautiful shot, right? But as you saw, and about to see here again, this is basically the state of this aircraft is just chaos. Look at that beautiful touchdown, and all of a sudden we just flew in the air. What the actual heck is going on at Aerosoft? Wow, wow, wow. Oh my god. You would have thought somebody threw us in the slew mode. Well, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I say what I had to say. Until next time, you got 3 choices. Give up, give in, or give it all you got. I'm talking to you, Aerosoft. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time. Next video. I'm out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What the heck did I just